Hello everyone, you're probably not expecting to have a distance tutorial since it's been such a long time. I think last time I did a tower distance tutorial was about a year or two ago, and the other ones previously were about 2 or 3 years ago as well, so it's been a very long time since I've done one. And also over the years people have asked me, why didn't you do a Dojo distance tutorial, because it's something that people really struggle with. Dojo distance is not easy. Initially it's not easy, but you can learn the strategies that we're going to go through today. We're going to break down the advanced rooms one by one. We're going to talk about the strategies that help me consistently pass it, and I am very consistent. Considering I've got 29,000 lums as a PB, I feel like I am consistent. I got 10k recently, and sometimes I die because of lack of concentration or just stupidity. But the whole point is to look at how we can pass them. We'll look at ways and other strategies and methods that we can use to prevent deaths. It might be slower to do those strategies and methods because we might get less lums, but it's more consistent and you're less likely to die. So we'll take a look at those things. So let's crack on with the tutorial and see how it's all done. Oh, I just forgot to mention just before we start the tutorial, we need to talk about very briefly the characters that we need to use for Dojo distance to maximise our chance of getting a PB and getting a good decent distance. So Glowbox and the Princess are the best ones to be using because their hitboxes are really good and they kick through and punch through walls. Unlike the others, Rayman and Tinsy, they can't do that. They're really terrible for that. You'd have to hover. You might have to slide down on the wall near a fireball, whereas Glowbox and the Princess can grab those lums on ledges, and it's more safer, as particularly in certain rooms, it's just a lot safer. So I would recommend using Glowbox and the Princess if you want to beat your PB or go for a higher distance. You can challenge yourself if you really want to and go for 10k or 20k or even more. Whatever you want to do and how much time you have on your hands, go for it. With Rayman or Tinsy, you could even get up to 30k or whatever, or even more. It's up to you. So just focus on using Glowbox and the Princess. I would recommend training with those first before you do anything else with any other characters. So right, let's get on with the video now. So this room kills a lot of people. It's the seesaw room, obviously, because we've got that seesaw. We got the knives or swords, I like to call them. They are definitely swords, I think, that chase us and kill us. But there's simple things that we can do. We can wait till the first one at the very top of the screen there comes down towards your character, and then as it gets close, turn around and spin dash, jump off the wall, rebound to get the 2 lums, then spin dash up to the right hand corner, grab on the ledge, wait a second, making sure that the very far left sword isn't going to target you, and then dash back to the seesaw. So the seesaw should be completely flat, no ground pound or anything like that. Then grab the lum and jump up to the ledge, then spin dash, wait for the bottom right sword to come up and hit the side of the seesaw. And then what you got to do after that is, I like to walk and jump over it just in case that the hitbox gets me. I've never had it happen, but yeah, it's just best. So that's it. Okay, so this one is very common. It kills a lot of people because we got all these lanterns. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lanterns. Of course, we got 6 slums in each one. because one of them counts as one, but the other lums around it for the lanterns counts as another one. So we know that. So the best way to do this is to spin dash as fast as possible, hitting the 2 lanterns, jump up to the right, bounce off the wall, missing the fireball, and land swinging off the chain. Now this is where you could completely mess it up. You need to hold directly left with the with your R2 button, your run button, because if you don't, what will happen is you'll end up getting hardly any momentum and possibly fall down to your death. Then what you do is you simply control it with kick and hovering. You'll see that in a second. And then after you hit the last one, time a ground pound to the very bottom. But I can show you another way also how to make sure that you don't get killed. It's safer, but you get less lums for this. Now this room with the swords, with the 3 bamboo poles, really is a trouble. It's troubling for people because they often die and get nervous. They might know the way to do it, but they often get scared and mess it up. Or because they're flying, like basically they hover too much or hover too little, the swords catch up with them and kill them. And it's renowned for doing that. So what we need to do, quite simply, for what I do, is I wait for the first sword on the far left to hit the first bottom part of the bamboo pole. Then I jump over the top of the first bamboo pole, grab the lum, drop down, but this is where you need to time it perfectly and you'll get the hang of it. Hover up to the second lum. Bearing in mind, you need to make sure that the swords are hitting the bamboo poles so that the swords don't come out of the bamboo poles and target you. Then when you've gone and got the second lum, you need to hover over the bamboo pole, drop down just a slight bit so that the sword, if it's targeting you, should hit the top of the bamboo pole, plus the other one at the far right should hit another bamboo pole and the one in the middle. After that, this is a bit complicated to explain, you drop back down to the next area and then wait for that to hit the next bamboo pole, and then you fly over, drop down, catch the lum, and then drop down a little bit more. Hopefully all the swords are in the right place. Generally they are if you've done it correctly. And then what you need to do then is fly over to the far end, slowly of course, making sure that the far left sword hits the bamboo pole. And then you get the next lum. And this is where you need to be careful because you just missed that last sword on the far left. So what you need to do then is drop down, and then you need to avoid the other swords coming to the centre, the centre bamboo pole. And sometimes you can hit the sword and the lum and get a glitch where you're stuck in the room and you can't do anything, and then you die eventually. But if you fly away from them, you should be able to do it. If you can't, just fly back up and go around again, around the bamboo pole. So it's like a weird figure of 8. A backwards sort of one. It's bizarre. So let's show it. This one is really easy. What you need to do is either take your time, just do a spin dash, make sure you're holding right so you can collect the lums, and just hover in between the fireballs, timing it correctly. And if you're feeling a bit scared, do a ground pound to the final one. Let's see. So with this room, I recommend not holding run, because if you run, you could end up into the spikes or into the fireballs. So simply just walk off very slowly, carefully, bearing in mind that momentum could be built from the other room if you're holding run, and you could get a boost. So I wouldn't hold it unless it's necessary. So what I'd do is simply walk off the edge, hover, wait till the fireballs pass, go up to the very top by the two spikes there, drop down at the right time to get the lums, and then be careful not to fly too low or too high onto the next bit, or to drop on the end spikes. And if you're scared, you can always drop or do a ground pound to the final lum in the room. This one is very easy. It's very similar to another bamboo one that's not an advanced obstacle, where you've got all these red enemies. I don't know what they're supposed to be, demons maybe, I don't know, or monsters, whatever they're supposed to be. But all you need to really do is either take your time and hit them one by one, and just be aware that the bamboo poles move up and down, and you haven't got a lot of room to land on them, so be aware of that. But you're probably aware of that by now with the other advanced obstacles and the previous obstacles before the advanced obstacles, like the easy ones. So basically what you have to do is do like a kick behind you or a punch behind you, punch the next one, punch up, try and time a back kick to hit the other one, and then punch up. There are many various ways you can do this, but take your time, because you're not under any time pressure. You can beat this room quite easily. So let's crack on and see how I've done it. I've paused it in a very awkward moment, but that's fine, we'll show it. Right, this one, we've got the swords chasing us. So what we need to do is I haven't done it immediately because I've paused it. I need to jump up immediately up to the lum, and then drop down, hover my way through the lum path, but being mindful that the swords are quite fast, so I need to kind of hover a little bit more. You'll see what I do, especially when I get to the far left side. What I do is I kind of go up to the lum, but hover a little bit above it, and then drop down. And of course, some of the swords on the bottom that come up are quite close to me, so I make sure I either drop down or I move a little bit more or whatever to avoid it. And then I take my time for the last set that goes around like in a backwards C sort of shape, and then I kind of fly over on the left, not on the right, and drop down to the bamboo pole at the end where the lum is. So let's see that. So for the room where there's loads of fireballs and there's a bouncy, like trampoline as it were, like what you have to do is simply ground pound and hover the way down, because if you mistime it, you will die. Anyway, on this room now, as you can see, we have spikes everywhere. Now a lot of people panic, they feel like they are scared to land on the spikes. All you have to do is do a tiny jump on individual lanterns like that and punch. And at the end, that's where it's more scary. You can hover to each one and punch both, or you can just hold the punch button, because you've got glow box. You will be able to reach both. You can kick it, but a punch should suffice to knock out the last two lanterns, and then on to the next room. Just don't hold run, because if you hold run, it's obviously that you're going to run into the spikes. And don't jump too high either, because you'll hit the spikes on the very top of the corridor. So with this room, we have fireballs going in all directions, and we got a drop down to get the lums by the bamboo walls. So what I do normally is I walk up, or you can run up, it doesn't matter, jump up to grab the ledge, but don't press up twice because obviously you'll get up quicker and you might end up hitting a fireball. After that, I make sure that the fireball's away from me. I do a jump over it, but I don't fall down to the very bottom. I actually hover, jump on the lum by the wall, bounce off it, and then time a spin dash down to the next wall, bamboo wall there, where the two flames are coming up. Now, some people wait for all the flames to disappear and then go down diagonally, but I don't do that. I'm not consistent with that. I literally just go down, slide down the wall, jump, but I hover by the lum. And then after I've been hovering for a bit, I jump back, do a kick so I don't instantly jump back up, and then I hold run as I'm facing the very last wall. And what I do is I run up and jump when on the spot at the very far end on that bamboo pole to the top right corner. I literally just hold run and jump at the right time. I don't spin dash because I'd have to do a double jump to do that. So yeah. Well, this one is also very troublesome. A lot of people do like a YBY up to that lum. I wouldn't do that. I'd walk or run to the very corner so you're literally parallel with the wall. Then you need to do a jump, not too high, but not too like a small jump. It needs to be like a medium sort of jump. And then you have to time it when the fire is going down. Wait a second, so slide on the first wall at the very top there for a second, and then jump over the fireball. Now, this is where it differs. People get the lum below where the fireballs are like coming down at the very bottom along horizontally, and kind of do a jump in between, in the middle there, jumping up to the far end wall, grabbing the chain and then doing it that way, or doing like a roll jump at the end to grab the chain. But I don't do that. You'll see what I do. So I get that second lum, I jump off the wall to the left, time a jump off the chain, and this is where Glowbox and the Princess are good for. If you do a tiny little jump and a hover to the corner and grab the ledge, you will pick up that lum. If you do it with Rayman, you might get the lum, but with a tinsel you're going to have to slide down and time jumps. So yeah, let's watch what I do, and I then jump back, of course, from that on down and up to the next lum and use the chain and time it perfectly to not hit the fireball. At times it can be a bit tight. I decide what I've learnt to do, and I recommend it's quite simple. Jump up, punch, so you cancel the momentum that you may have from other rooms, and then just slowly but surely take each lum at a time and just avoid the fireballs by hovering backwards if needs be necessary, and you'll eventually find your way to the lum. Just be very careful, even if it's only down to one lum for each one, doesn't matter, as long as you do it safely. That's the whole point. This one is really easy. All you need to do with Glowbox and the Princess is spin dash, punch and kick through the wall to get the lantern. This is very easy. This is a good rest zone for most people to stop and pause their game with either the options button or the centerpiece where you can hear the music playing. The screen snapshot, how you can take a picture properly and zoom in. So this is a good place. I wouldn't run, and I wouldn't try speed strats where you do like a spin dash off the edge to hit the lanterns unless you're consistent with it. Just walk off, don't run off the edge, hover in the air and slowly but surely hit all the lanterns. It's quite easy, you'll see me do it. And then that is that room done. Just be careful with the spikes and the fireballs, not to be too high, not to be too low. It's pretty straightforward. I jumped to the left to collect the lums, and I hover to the right slightly, pick up the other lum, and then I decide to hover to the left, but I do it in such a way that I pick up the set that comes downwards towards you and the one that's like in the centre, and then because I've hovered exactly the right way, I'm able to drop down to the right corner one, and then you make sure you drop down not too much, not too fast so you don't die, but so that you're manipulating the swords and where they're going to go. And normally you have like a little opening, a decent size opening if you do it correctly, and you can just hover up as that lumb from the far left comes up diagonally towards you, you can collect it. So that's all the advanced rooms. We've looked at them individually. Hope that's helped you. Thanks for watching. And as you can see, when you're in the 2000s or just coming up to 2000, that should be a diamond cup. So you should be able to get that in a challenge quite easily. Let me know if you found any bits confusing for whatever reason, or want to share your methods and your strategies in the comments. Go ahead. But I hope that helped you. Okay, see you in another video. Bye.